So I'm taking this class, and we're studying Seven Habits, and I'd owned it. I don't know, we'd owned it forever. Everybody owns it, right? and I'm reading along, and I'm really like studying it for the first time. Like I'm really caring about what he says, and really trying to understand it, really buying into a lot of what he's teaching. And I'm just thinking...
Well, it makes sense, though. That's why.
I'm just thinking, who? Nobody... I don't know. That's kind of a blanket statement, but I'm thinking... Nobody really understands this book. Like, everybody owns it. Nobody really lives it. That was kind of, part of my insight. I don't live it.
I'll never forget when you turned to me one day and said, most people we know aren't even doing the first habit.
We're not doing the first habit. So anyway, you go along in there. I think it's the third habit. You do a mission statement. And so I'm like, okay, I am buying into this. I know Covey's right. I've got to do this. We've got to do this family mission statement thing. It's going to be super cool. So I'm just determined to do this. And he's got this exercise where you write down what you want people to say at your funeral, which is super valuable if you actually do it. And I was thinking about those kinds of things, but I was really focused on, like, my primary focus was, what do I want my kids to be like when they leave my home? What do I want to give them? And how could it be, I don't know if you can ever be a parent and have a guilt-free experience, but, as close to guilt-free as I could get.
You can if you don't have children.
Well, okay.
Well, then you might feel guilty having children.
Okay, that's great. So I'm going along, I'm making this list, and so we decide we're going to have this retreat as a couple. And I can still remember this little page in my planner, and I had it all full of this list of my kids are going to be like this and this, and basically they're going to be perfect when they leave my house. So it wasn't necessarily entirely realistic. And so then I tried
it's like the guy that gets the list of that kind of woman he wants to marry, and she doesn't exist.
Pretty much.
So, yeah.
So I tried to go back and kind of filter it, and Blaine helped me do that when we were on the retreat, and I would kind of read them out to him, and he would talk to me about them, and we would say, what we thought about them, and how we would do that with our kids, and we were able to narrow it down and to a handful that were really the most important. If they don't have a moral foundation, we've done something really wrong.
If they're not lifelong learners.
So what were our primary objectives with our kids? So I don't know, we've been there a day or two, and we've been going over this list and thinking really about ourselves as parents and our family and our children. And all of a sudden, Blaine pipes up. I'll never forget that moment, just like where we were and exactly what we were doing. And he says, it's like that scripture. I'm like, what are you talking about? The one, truth and freedom or something. And so, it doesn't, we grew up with the Bible in our home, but, we weren't as diligent there as we should have been. Anyway, we couldn't remember where it was, so we went through and searched, and we found it. And there it was in John. If you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
That was it. That spoke volumes.
Yeah. We just looked at each other and we're like, that's it. That's the family mission statement. And that's a personal mission statement. And I have another one that's kind of my own little personal thing, but the truth shall make you free became the motto of what we were all about. And we talked to our children on a very regular basis about that.
That's why it's the motto of the Ten Boom Institute.
That's right. And so as we, found the hiding place, and we're working on our own liberal education and reading great stuff and finding principles, we made this connection at some point between, that's what the Ten Booms were about. They didn't consciously say all the time, the truth shall make you free like we do, but that's what they were. They were truth seekers.
Well, but it changed everything, because before that, the truth shall make you free was all about salvation. It was all about spiritual, right? And it didn't really kind of seep into what you would call secular. It didn't seep into finances or to health or into parenting or into life fulfillment in your career or anything like that. It was simply, okay, yeah, we want to return to God and stuff, but
now all of a sudden there's all these truths and these laws.
Oh yeah,
the truth will make you free financially. The truth will make you free in your marriage. The truth will make you free as parents. That there are actually true, timeless principles. And even with kind of a religious background, that we just really kind of never made the connection in quite that way. And Covey helped. Because what's the introduction all about? That's exactly what he's trying to convince you of. And then we go back through these
Lewis.
classics and we read more classics and we're like, oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah. And we're like, how do we miss
The
it?
greatest men and women were truth seekers. They wanted the truth to make them free. Gandhi's autobiography says, my experiments with truth. He was consciously aware that he was on a path to discover and live truth. And that's what the Ten Dooms were trying to do.
And I mean, Benjamin Franklin, you know, and it's even funny that he would air bathe, right? And everyone's like, well, he was trying to find truth. And obviously, don't do it, but he was searching for truth.
Yeah.
And that's really about, that's all we're about here, is because that truth, when you find those principles, it changes everything permanently. I mean, forever, as long as you do it. And it's interesting that as we were going through our story, or we're going through our lives, that there's areas that are really come natural to you, right? So, for example, Audrey, one of our kids get an ear infection, and Audrey's sister had gotten more involved into organic and to what's that, homeopathic health and stuff, and so she says, do you have any idea? Do you have any recommendations? She's like, oh yeah, put a couple of drops of these different herbs in their ear, and
several times a day,
and the pain will go away, and the infection will go away, and you don't have to worry about it. And we did it, and you know what? It worked.
But it's not just that. I mean, you know, Blaine was talking about we have redeeming areas and we have areas we struggle in. That's true. Most of us have some redeeming areas. We're not just, you know, total train wreck. And so you have strong areas, and what you may not realize is that in those areas you're really pretty in harmony with principles. In these other areas where you struggle, one of the greatest testimonies for us that this is the case was the 3 different times that we cleared everything, and we started from scratch, and we lived financial principles for a year or more, and our finances improved dramatically. Every time.
Took a year. What I'm saying.
Took a year to see a significant difference, but every time it made a difference. And finally, the 3rd time, we were like, we're never going back. Why in the world did we stop doing this? This has always made a difference. It's always going to make a difference. We can have solid finances forever if we'll just keep doing this.
Well, but that's what I was saying. So we're really strong in certain areas. Audrey was more naturally stronger at parenting, and so that wasn't nearly the fight. And I wasn't, and she helped me teach the principles, and I learned them in the books as well. But when it came to finances, I understood that there was principles, because it was after we had this experience. It was 7 years later. We were in the worst financial pain we've ever been in. And because I kept thinking, okay, I knew there was principles, but deep down inside, I really thought I could get around them. I just thought I could make all this money, then live the principles. Well,
the problem too.
I did make a lot of money one year. I made a lot of money one year, and guess what?
No, but you've always made pretty good money.
We were out of. We lost all the money.
Try to get help from different people, which we have in the past, and they'll say things like, if you just think the right thoughts, then it's just all going to be okay. So you put up the vision boards, and you do your visualizations, and you write down your affirmations, and guess what? And not that those things aren't important. Not those things can't help.
They're not foundational, though.
But they're not foundational, and they're not. You can't say, well, I want my marriage to be better, so I'm just going to work on this one isolated thing. It's like this woman that called me up once for some, mentoring or whatever, and she's like, okay, well, this is what we've decided. We think that the philanthropy might be a principle some people have been talking about. We're going to try it for 3 months. And after 3 months, if we don't see some results, we're just going to stop doing it. And I was like, I'm sorry, that's not how principles work.
They don't work that way at all.
You don't try them on for size, and if they don't fit right, then you quit doing them. What criteria are you looking for? If you're wealthy in 3 months? If people have given you money in 3 months? In 3 months from now, what's going to make you decide that you're going to keep being philanthropic and not just submit and recognize that every financially successful person has always done it, and it's part of the equation, and you just got to do it? And so it's tough, because you got to put aside your pride. You've got to submit your will to the laws that govern the earth, and you've got to just say, that's it, my way doesn't work.
But you need to
You
need to say, when you put aside your pride, you got to really say, and this is hard, believe me, this is hard, I did it. You got to say, my way's not working. I tried to do my finances my own way for 17, 18 years, and the only time we ever had any financial peace is when we lived the financial principles. And then when I thought I could get around them, and I just hurry, and I'm going to hurry, and then it would become a nightmare again. And it did it every single time. And now that we've decided, and it's been about 2 years now, over 2 years that we started, I mean, things are dramatically, we've never had such financial peace.
Well, we're talking a lot about finances because finances was a big thing for us, but we had extended family relationships that frankly just stunk. There's a lot of things that we struggled with personally. We don't know what your struggle is, and these mentoring programs aren't necessarily about finances. They're about foundational tools, foundational truths that create the best, happiest, most productive life for any individual because they're timeless.
Yeah. And
because they always work for everybody.
always. And they're universal. There's not, I can't say it enough that if you live the truth, it will make you free. And the reason I say we're highlighting the finances because that was the big one for me. I mean, you look at Oprah's...
It wasn't the only big one.
Okay, it was a huge one, but...
Our marriage was a huge one.
Oh, yeah. But we're happy now. But look at Oprah. I mean, she did the same thing about health. She said she tried the Slim Fast, she tried this and this and this, and she lose the weight, right? But she knew it wasn't off permanently. She hadn't learned she hadn't created the discipline to live the principles.
Yeah, she said at one point she ate healthy all the time, but she ate gallons of food.
And she also said, I had the money, and she did, and she does. She would have hired the guy to go to the farthest tip of the world to get the herb or whatever it needed so she wouldn't have to go through the hard work of disciplining herself and living the principles.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter what it is. So, like I said, I've only brought that up because some are going to be easier for you and some are going to be way harder for you. But if you'll have the faith and you can go off of us and as you read the classics, they'll be reinforced that those principles really work for anybody as long as they'll live them.
So the programs include a whole bunch of stuff. One of the most valuable things in the whole program is the workbook, because the workbook is a compilation of exercises and ideas and quotes and excerpts and then readings that are the best of the best that we've been able to discover over.
But those workbooks represent a tremendous amount of work. I cannot believe how much time we spent putting those together. But they are super valuable.
Oh yeah, they're valuable.
There's so many, because there's so many testimonies. There's so many people witnessing that yes, this is true. Yes, this is true. And these are the best. These are the experts. These are the best of the best in their fields that are saying yes, if you do this, you'll get the results. If you do this, you get the results.
Yeah. So you get this kit. And it's got the workbook, and it's got your readings, and a whole bunch of books. Some of them include 10, plus books and movies. And so you're going to inundate yourself. You're going to spend 4 months. You're not going to read all the books. You're going to read the selections of the books, and they're books that we want you to have in your home library. We want you to be able to reference them 10 years from now
so
when
you
realize,
down,
wait a minute, I've got a problem with resentment again.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm feeling really down. What was that thing? That we want you to have those tools, because this isn't our expertise. This isn't like, we're super geniuses.
We're going to fix all your problems.
We came up with this really creative tactic, and it's just going to work and solve all your problems. We recognize that everyone's different, and everyone struggles with different things, and there's many principles in many different areas, and it's a lifelong journey, and you're going to see results. You're going to see some immediate results, and you're going to see tremendous results in a year. You're going to see phenomenal results in 5 years. So we want you to continue on that path. We want you to have those tools.
But we want to empower you because we know what the answer is. The answer is to find the truth. But maybe you're going to have a problem in some aspect of your life that we don't even touch upon. But if you're empowered, you say, oh, there are principles. All I have to do is find the principles, and we've taught you how to find the principles. Then whatever that is, you can fix that thing in your life on your own because you're empowered to do so.
And you've got all these witnesses. You don't have to take our word for it. You've got dozens and dozens of witnesses. You're going to recognize the names. They're going to be influential, great individuals who've had great positive impact in the world because they teach truth. And they have the results, and they have proven results, through whatever...
Well, a bunch of them are just those quotes on the side of the page you're looking at right now. On our website, we've quoted a bunch of the greats. So
for example, in the Free Yourself program that we recommend, you've got to do that one first because it's going to lay a foundation. That one is focusing on you as an individual, and what do you need to do as an individual to be personally liberated from that negativity and doubt that drags you down all the time, from your discouragement and your hopelessness. Your marriage is never going to change. Well, what could you change about yourself that would bring you renewed energy and hope, that would help you bring something new to the relationship, that would cause change to happen? So that's just a tremendously wonderful program with lectures and our story videos.
Well, but we'll have the lectures,
principles list. The workbook has principles lists in it. We forgot to even mention that, and you can
but
see
every
all that
program's
on
going to have
pages.
lectures, and they'll have videos, our story videos, and things like that. We really want to hit you from so many angles that you're like, oh yeah. So if you're not.
So it's not the kind of thing that takes over your life. It's not like, you might read 5 or 10 pages a day, maybe at the most. What it's going to do is you're going to think about it.
Yeah.
You're going to be thinking about principles all day long, and then you're going to get on the phone with your mentor, and they're going to talk about, okay, so what about you?
Yeah.
What's your specific deal? What's the hardest for you in the readings? What's the area of your life that you're struggling with the most that just isn't getting fixed? And it's going to become personalized. In the group calls, you're going to have an opportunity to hear witnesses from other people that are doing things, that are experiencing change, that are having great experiences, living principles, and also, the role plays, the activities, the discussion there is just so valuable. And so we want it to be this intensive experience, not intensive that you have to turn your life over to it, but intensive because the way you think about yourself in the world will change dramatically in a short period of time. And you'll have all these tools. We know that you might be able to have a dramatic change or two in 4 months' time, but really, it's going to take you submitting, understanding, getting clear, and being consistent, because consistency is a universal principle that's true in every area of life, and it's going to take time for you to see those changes, but we promise they'll come as you're consistent in living those things that you learn in the program.
But there might be one thing that clicks, and it's like major change.
Yeah, it's like the paradigm shift, like Covey talks about.
You're just like, holy cow, this changes everything. Well, it has a major impact, it does. You feel tons better, but everything's not fixed. I mean, it's a huge step forward, but there's still things you have to do. There's still other principles you need to live. And so, and I don't think there's such a quick fix. There might be something that has major change. There really might be. But there's more you have to do, and there's other areas you can continue. This is lifelong learning. This is an education for real life. It's going to take you all life to become the type of person you want to become. Not that this is going to drag out for years, but there's always ways to continue to improve. But you could have a very healthy, you can be very healthy in all these different areas
over time.
Now,
absolutely.
It doesn't have to take a whole lifetime. I guess I'm sounding kind of like I'm contradicting myself. You always will continue learning, but you can be healthy in finances. You can be healthy in your health. You can be healthy in your relationships.
You get to the point where you just have peace. And
yes.
It's just no longer like it's taken over your life and you can't ever think about anything else, because every month the finances are such a nightmare that you spend half your time thinking about them and you can't just move on to other things you'd like to be concerned about.
Yeah.
So these programs are what we wish we would have had.
Amen.
And they're a concentrated they're concentrated content in a focused area that allows you to have that springboard, that foundation, and be mentored through it so that you can head off on the right path and not have to go out there and read 500 books and look and glean, 1 or 2 principles from each over a long period of time. We've tried to take everything
just
that we've learned to this
everything.
point, and give it to you so that you can experience faster change. You can experience greater change in a shorter period of time. Yeah.
So, we welcome you, and please allow the truth to make you free.